How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Bleach Thousand Year Blood War Season 2 episode review. Today's episode review is a twofer. We're doing episode 25, The Master, and episode 26, Black. This is going to be fun because this is the ending. I don't know why they didn't just, make it a 1 hour thing like they did last time we had a season finale. I believe it was the one with Ichigo reforging his blade, getting a new blade and everything. So instead, they gave you two separate ones, which, hey, it's fine. If you watch one today, you can watch the other one. But I decided to do this one. So before we go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. Because I am the master at this. I hesitate to say that. I enjoy relaying information to you all. So this is how this is going to go down. I'm going to do episode 25 first. I have 3 parts for that, and I have 3 parts for episode 26. I'm going to do my best to give as much detail as possible since I'm putting 2 together, because I don't want this to be an hour long. We're going to aim for 30 minutes. All right. Oh, by the way, everybody who watches the One Piece reviews, I will definitely do 1076 and 1077. I feel like I did 1076, but I'm going to do 1076 and 1077 tomorrow, which would be today if you're watching this on Sunday. You'll get those later on. Like I said, I had a tooth pulled. I wasn't able to do it during the week. Kind of surprised I'm doing this one right now, but hey, if you can't tell any difference, that's excellent. So, episode 25, The Master. First part, we do get to meet Ichiro's I can't remember her name is Yurichi sexy cat lady. We meet her younger brother, Yushiro Shihoin. Now here's the crazy thing. Thought it was little sister because he looks exactly like her. Looks like a girl. His voice actor is a girl. So I'm like, oh yeah, her little sister is in charge. No, it's a he. He's the 23rd head of the Shihoin clan. He came with a bunch of stuff for her. As a matter of fact, the other visitors, Hiyori and glasses lady, dude with the hair like that, and the one other guy, I can't remember his name, but they all showed up. And I like Hiyori, because Hiyori just straight up goes, I thought, first of all, where's old hag cat lady? Talking about Yurichi, and where's Ichigo? And flat out tells Urahara, I hope you didn't send them up there, because he said the situation changed, right? Hope you didn't send them up there hold off everything, even if they died, just because of how bad things got. He was really quiet. And I noticed something when he was talking to Yushiro. He said, oh yeah, your sister went up there ahead of us for the good of the Seirete. And he already says, I remember, I hate that saying that you guys have, for the good of the Seirete. And it's very interesting because Urahara, Mayuri, they are both, well, he was the former 12th Division head. Mayuri is the current 12th Division captain head. Is very interesting. And that those two always say that thing. Well, they don't always say, but they say that, right? I get that the 13 court guards are supposed to be for the good of the Seirete, but I noticed that is the science folks that say it the most. Like, behind their exploration for scientific developments and items and things like that, all the things that they've done or had to do or will do, it's all been for the good of the greater good. So just something I find fairly interesting. Let's go to part 2 because that's already over. I could have lumped in some of the stuff in part 3 in here, but no. We're gonna move on. Ichigo and his crew, they're all right. They're on their way up. We already know that. Let's talk about Yhwach versus Ichibe. This is one of the fights I've been waiting for. And matter of fact, I might do a video on top 5 fights from season 1 and top 5 fights of season 2, because this is one of the ones that I've been looking forward to. he does this cool move, Senri Sura something. My finger trailed off while I was doing this, but it is more or less a seal. He puts a seal on the real entrance to the royal palace, on top of drawing two lines telling them this is the space we're going to fight. You're not going to get past here. Now, your watch does say a cool thing. He says it's a shame you're going to die 3 steps before that. And Ichibe keeps telling you keep saying my name all willy nilly. I'm going to have to deal with you. You're going to get dealt with. And this fight was really good. Here I call it part 2, into episode 26. Great fight. I'm gonna have to break this down even further, so I'm gonna be flip flopping a little bit. Nimaya, I hate to call him hip hop man, but hip hop squad zero dude, probably like the only cool black character that Kubo has made. Although it's weird I don't want to call him cliche because of the hip hop. At the same time, who else would you have doing that? So only cool black character he's made. He doesn't know between Jugo and Uryu who's the successor. He's like, hey, Ichibe gonna take care of him. I'm gonna take care of y'all, right? And he's gonna give them all the time in the world to figure this out. Go to my second part here. Now, as that's going on, I told you this fight's going on. Ichibe, he has this the seal palm thing. Pushed your watch 1,000 ri. Don't know how far 1,000 ri is. Pushed him into the sky. He can't speak because spoiler, just in case you don't know, Ichibe is probably the oldest character that's not named Soul King that we've met. Probably. And if you're not worthy enough to speak his name, you'll lose your voice. And that's probably why he has this other name that the others call him Oshu. Because, if you're not worthy enough to speak his name, you might lose your voice. Now, your watch has said his name like 2 or 3 times. And Ichibe does another one of these moves that's like a floating hand Buddha thing. I find it interesting that a lot of the characters that have like the big Buddha beads and moves like that, it's always like a palm thrust or large hands or something like that. Think about anytime you see that. Was it his name Senjumaru from Naruto and several other characters, including Kung Fu Hustle. That's kind of interesting. I like that connection there. But he's kicking his ass. Literally kicking his ass. Now, we get a cool thing where you watch stabs his own throat and infuses his reishi to give himself his voice back. And Ichibe's giant brush, his sword, his Sanpakuto, Ichimonji, anything it paints on, I want to say, does it lose its voice? Does it lose its name? He cuts its power in half, right? So he hit, for some reason your wife blocked it with his hand. He lost the use of his arms. He said, matter of fact, you don't even have arms anymore. You have R. And it changed his name. He's swinging with weak power. What else did he hit him? He slashed him straight down, and that also cut his power in half. And he's telling him, yeah, I'm going to whoop your butt. And we find out in part 2, the reason why he did all this, he was like, I'm trying to have you save face. Because if I beat, the Quincy King at full power, it's going to make your guys feel bad. But you know what? Your reputation won't matter when you're dead, right? It's a cold ass line. That's a cold line, I got to admit. But before he can even finish him off, because remember, he's weakened his arm strength. He slashed him with the little brush thing. I like this. I don't know. I haven't read the, I hate to call it sequel manga, but the sequel parts of the manga for Bleach. I would love to see if someone had like a giant key. Yeah, I'm like a keyblade, but giant keys are cool, especially when you're doing ancient keys. I digress. I love the look of ancient keys, honestly. Part of the reason why I like Lucy from Fairy Tail. I digress. Before he can do any finishing move on this guy, He does, and I'm gonna use some help from a TV over here. He does the Auswählen. The Auswählen, which we know is well, he does Auswählen, but uh kill stealers. We have since I forget the proper names for Squad Zero members, I tend to talk about their title names. So Senjumaru, I usually call her Grand Weaver, and I always remember Kirinji, even though he's Hot Spring Demon. I remember him. So I knew I was forgetting some stuff. They fight Jugo and what's my homeboy's name? Uryu. Namiya, remember the guy. Remember the Quincy who has the weird long name that I'm always forget, but I know his Shrit number. His Shrit is D. His Shrit letter's D, and his name is the Death Dealer. He's very hard to kill. Now he's confronting Namiya because Namiya can't kill the other two because kill stealers. Dude's ability, and he says it took me a while to understand my own ability too, and I think he's activating his ability by licking the blood off of him. He can change the amounts of something that it would take to kill you, right? So while he's licking the blood, he's changing his blood composition that he's making Namiya have too much blood, which is making him weak and fall over. So what does Namiya say? All right, slash myself. He cuts himself in the neck, try to get rid of some of this blood. Dude is super smart, the Death Dealer. He's super smart because he's saying, well, looking at you, this is your weight. They did it in kilograms, y'all. Metric system is better for me. But looked at his weight, says, yeah, you're almost close to my weight. Tells him, well, with your type of weight, you had to give up 4 liters of blood, especially with this amount of blood you have. You had to have yourself near death just to keep up with my ability. Well, would you know, we actually have a dude that counteracts that. Kirinji. Remember his hot spring thing? He can bring that hot spring power wherever he is, which I'm assuming that his Zanpakuto is the stirring paddle thing he has, just like Kirio, Grain Queen, my favorite of these guys, aka Plump Mama, who can become skinny, sultry Mama. Kirinji can bring that water. Remember, the white waters can flush out your reishi and stuff, but the red water replaces your blood with new blood. And so he splashed his homeboy, flushed that stuff out. Cool, you take care of this. Now, while he's fighting Jugo, it's a very nice shiny glitter coming from him. He calls his move, I think it's called Kikan or something like that. Very nice fight between them. He had a cool one where they did the sword, the clash thing where you're back to back, and one person falls. He won that. Uryu's getting his butt whooped by Senjumaru. She's able, when he does the light Ringen, which is just the arrow volley, because of the womb, the cage that they're in, drain the reishi, and his reishi constantly draining. She compared it to like a gentle spring rain because she quickly makes an umbrella and it just rolls off of it. And she's able to just kick his butt. She didn't even do a death blow yet. Now, when Yhwach does the Auswählen, here's our part 3. This dude is evil as hell. That drains not just the reishi, but the soul of the unneeded and unwanted Quincy's. So while we're watching evil Quincy do the double tap, stabbing Shinigamis and killing them, their souls and stuff are being sucked up as soon as this blue light hits. All around, crying out in pain, turn them into dust. It's very hard for me to feel bad for him. It highlights how evil Yhwach is. Like, you're killing your own guys, and he set the tone back in season 1. They don't care about hollows, but he killed his own guys. He doesn't give a shit about that. But we have that's her name. I can't believe I remember her name. Lil Toto. Remember, little side jaw mouth. She met up with Gigi, And very suggestive scene here, which it makes it look like Gigi is performing. Uh, do I say the proper term or do I say a funny term? I don't know how YouTube is gonna react to this. Just gonna say it. It looks like she's performing cunnilingus on Bambita. Remember, Bambita's dead. What she's doing is chewing on her somewhere in the midsection or inner thigh. She's just chewing on her. Remember, we thought that she got killed. I thought she got killed with the slash and the stab. Taking back her blood to heal herself, and Bambita's, begging her. Now that she's dead, she has a way different personality, saying that she doesn't want to die yet. Please don't take too much. And Gigi smashes her head on a rock repeatedly, which now kills her. Remember, this is a sadist, a nasty character that flat out goes, "Oh, you look so good dead." She killed her. And Lil Toto even said, "Yeah, I ate Pepe because Pepe, got pink hair, big boobs to attack her. The power. I know that's her Stern Ritter name. The power to turn on her. She had to knock her out. But apparently Thunder wasn't killed. I thought Thunder got killed by Yhwach, but apparently not. Because we see the power, big boobs carrying her. So they both get engulfed in a light. They have to be done. And little Toto, she pushes Gigi out the way. And Baz B is being engulfed in this light. He's saying, "I don't know what's going on." And they're both questioning Yhwach. They're like, "What are we to you?" And they both say simultaneously, "I'm not going to die like this here." So I kind of liked it. Again, Baz B has that design. Baz B. Like Raz B from B2K. Tell me you're old without telling me you're old. Anyway, too cool of a design to go out. He's spoiled. He's probably not dead, y'all. At least he wasn't dead in the manga that I know. So maybe he died this time, maybe he didn't. Because I was expecting, oh no, that's going to happen later. Never mind. But he's probably not dead. And they lose their little wing powers and all that. He took it from them. I still think it's so funny. These hypocritical ass. Look, Pepe tried to get you all to kill each other so he could get all the glory. Think about this. Within your own ranks, I'm going to say Reich, which they are, you damn stormtroopers, allegory to Nazis, you guys kill each other to get better favor with this dude that you watched him kill your other people. Why is this a surprise to any of you? I think the old man with the glasses probably knew what was up. Like, how is any of this a surprise? You all aren't loyal to each other. You actively hate one another. We watched Bambita kill a dude for after she slept with him, implied. So you guys aren't really the nicest. You aren't really the greatest. You're pretty much douchebags. Why are you upset? You don't have that right to be upset. And as a result of this ability, all of his royal guards that were killed by one dude rise. They rise and they get their little halos and their little wings. And so Valkyrie, Dev Dealer was already. He gets up. Everybody gets up. It's time for a battle. Even Uryu and Jugo, they stand up, even though they weren't. I don't think they were killed, but they stand up. And Jugo makes a point saying the scales have tipped. And Ishibe flat out calls Yhwach ruthless. He's like, "Man, is that what you do to your comrades? Well, that's what comrades are for, right? They get rid of, they help their teammates to revive and rise again." And Jugo flat out explains what the Auswählen is. Those who are deemed unworthy, take everything, power those who are needed. Whew. That's all I can say. And this is where it ends right here at the end of the part. We do get a haiku. I do appreciate that. This is the last haiku. I actually have to, I'm sorry, y'all. I have to go back and get that. I messed up. I didn't write it down in my notes. Boop. But yeah. Where's this haiku at? Oh, before I forget the haiku, Shunsui looks up and goes, he tells his two lieutenants, "Hey, we're going to have to abandon the barracks. It looks like the real issue is that the royal palace. So it looks like the battlefield's going to shift a little bit for those who remain. Oh, after the song, also we see Ukitake, his buddy, the other one that was trained under Captain Commander Yamamoto. He was doing some special ritual thing. Apparently, the Kamikake was successful because his shadow grows. It has like a halo and a giant eye in the middle. What could that be about? Who knows? Shunsui says he's gonna go grab a drink. Now the haiku, which is said by our very own Senjimaru. Is she my second favorite? Squad Zero. I know I like Kirio the most. I like Senjimaru because her personality is very unique. But it says a thread falls through the clouds, pull and rattle, a field of white cloth, bones woven within. Now let's talk about episode 26, Black, which I appreciate that when they showed the title, it was black on black. It was like more like a black on charcoal. For those of you who know your colors and your color wheels and color palettes. So let's talk. Oh, I don't know. Should I rate them both together? Should I give them separate ratings? I'm going to rate them both together because that's how I watched it. So let's talk about Black. Yhwach just flat out says the world is his for the taking. Nothing's going to stop him. All of this belongs to him. He's going to take it. Including the Soul King. And we do get a look at the Soul King, no arms. He's supposed to have no legs, but I guess that would be too much. So he has it's like detached at the knee. He has little nubbies, little nubs. His eyes have those 4 pupils, but remember when your watch had the extra pupils? He had at least a pair looking straight. Dude's eyes just look everywhere but forward. Message. So, part 1. Oh, Ichigo's on the way up. By the way, he's on the way up. So let's do part 1. The Squad Zero fight. Because Nehemiah basically, not Nehemiah, but Kirio, Grand King. She flat out says this is how we fight. So it's time for a battle. Dude gets shot, like straight up. And he believes that the Royal Guard's got a power up from your watch, especially Mr. X Access. And X Access says, no, this is my ability. We didn't get a power up at all. This is how my ability always works. See, anything between, so he shoots him, and Kirio with his paddle and her giant, I guess that's a fried rice spoon or a ladle, giant ladle. Try to block it. He goes, So anything between the muzzle of his gun and the target, it goes through. This dude has a giant hole. He had a hole here and he has a giant hole here, which is partly why I called him an asshole in last week's review, because I don't like him. Interesting ability. It's more like a stand ability, if we're going to be completely honest. If you know, you know. Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town. So just the guy, it's so weird. Just, he's not shooting a bullet. It's just anything between that and the target. So you're firing nothing. Think about it. A lot of these powers are damn near JoJo powers. Like we've deviated from Bleach type of things to this is a very interesting power along with these very wacky names. They're able to heal him up because Senjimaru basically took cotton, stuffed it in the wounds, and it healed him quickly. Saying something like slumber too early, it's bad for you, or something like that. But because my homegirl, the Green King, she uses her ability, put more vines on top of the deteriorating cage, which then is allowed to separate each of them from each of the Quincy Royal Guards. They're doing one-on-one fights now, which is Senjimaru versus Valkyrie, Grand King versus Robot Thing. Kirin G is going to fight Death Dealer, and Nemaya, of course, is fighting X Access, which is, I just realized that's actually black on black anime characters fighting each other. That's interesting. Yes. They all lose, but they don't lose, but they all lose. They all get beaten. It was valiant effort from all of them. Death Dealer was able to somehow reverse it. He had like a green puddle Because Kieran was like, yeah, not only is this a bad matchup for you because dude was running, I'm also faster than you. Didn't matter. He did the same. He had a whole speech in the first part where he said, yeah, I told your buddy, I told Funky Man. I love that he called him Mr. Funky. I told Mr. Funky over here that you underestimated me. And then he said, well, I underestimated you. But now he's like, no, you guys are underestimating me. They get knocked out somehow. Kirio, I don't understand how she got knocked out. I did see Valkyrie stomp Sinjimaro, well, implied stomp her after he backhanded her. Missing someone. Oh yeah, Namaya's blade couldn't reach the guy, and the guy, he did a cool thing where he lined up. If dude shot him, he would also be shooting Yhwach. But he said no, I doesn't let anything escape the target. So maybe he wasn't aiming at him. Maybe he was aiming at a platform by him. And so if he's in the, I don't understand that one myself. Again, very much a Deus Ex Machina kind of thing. But I shall digress here. Namaya is the one that tells everybody, get up. We need to show these dudes how we fight. And they're talking trash, like, oh, you guys said you're stronger than the 13 court guards. Yeah, this is what you got. They pull out. So now we are in He Who Remains territory for me. For those of you who have not watched Loki season 1, allow me to explain. We are now in the territory where now I don't remember most of the things that have happened at this point. Now we are at that point. I remember a good deal. There is something that happens next season. Several things that I know is going to happen, but this part, I don't remember any of this. So, Namaya tells them, we haven't even begun to even fight like captains yet. He's right. We haven't heard anybody do Shikais. We're assuming that everybody's in their Shikai mode, right? We haven't seen anybody do a Bankai. And so the Maya chooses Senjumaru. He says, you're going to be the one to beat them. She's like, oh, okay. You have thousands of arms, so you should be able to get 6 of them. 4 royal guards, Uryu and Jugo, right? And the other 3, slit their throats. And I have to describe this for you. So the representation of this is, remember, each of them has their own directions: the north, the south, the east, the west. It's Diddy. Hold up. So we have 4 candles. Each of the candles go out, which means the light was reflecting the seals together. Light goes out, seal goes out. Except hers is the only one that remains, and she gets this golden glow. And again, Valkyrie, he's the shit talker. Like, what can one of you do when all 4 of you couldn't beat us? And I wish I would have wrote this down. So, here is the thing about them. Even the slightest use of their power could cause the heaven and earth of the 3 worlds to rumble and tremble. So that's why they've all linked their lives to one another to seal away their true swords, which is the Bankai. In exchange for 3 of their lives, the blood oath seal will be broken. Uryu is the only one who is shuddering at this. He's the only person that's going, oh, this seems serious. She doesn't prepare herself. She does her Bankai. Massive Shinto gate appears. Her Bankai, which I like this. This is a good use of 3D and computer generated graphics. Makes a giant Shinto gate, but then you would think it's making a Yakshasta, the yokai. No, it's making fabric wheels. And you see all these different designs. For those of you who watched season 3 of Demon Slayer, you know those type of fabrics I'm talking about. And I'm going to do my best to say this name. It is Shitatsu Kararaga Shigara Mino Suji. How did I get that on one try? And when she does her Bankai, literally that entire Bleach universe is rumbling. I'm talking Ichigo and his people feel it. On Earth, we see Ichigo's dad, Uryu's dad. The people in the Soul Society feel it. Everyone there just feels the rumble. That is how strong their Bankai is. So there are 6 tiers to this because there's 6 enemies, 6 tiers to this. And she says unravel Hank. I'm guessing that is the name of when you have a large furl of cloth. It's called a hank or a honk. Don't know. Those of you who know those type of things, please let me know in the bottom below. So her first honk is the abundant bloom eyes. Mr. XXS tries to shoot, which looks like her, ends up shooting himself. Armor of blade steel. Death Dealer basically gets put in a cool looking Iron Maiden. Watch this if you have not. This is fantastic. Number 3 is Bowels of Black Sand, getting Mr. Robot sucked in there. Number 4 is Freezing Bed Linens. Everybody, the best thing in the world is a cold bed. Prove me wrong. When you try to get into bed at night, cold bed is nice. Freezes the hell out of Valkyrie. Number 5 is Burning Fields. Jugo can't slash what looks like her silhouette in the flames until he cannot die or let escape until he's burned to ash. And number 6 seems like the most gentle one for Uryu. Star of Dark Night, which he sees that Quincy symbol and he walks and it just takes his soul. And at the end of this entire ability, what she says, Shinden Roku Shiki Ukimon no Hata. Rough translation from my Japanese. 6 seals of Ukimon's something. 6 seals of Ukimon something, which makes sense because we see 6 fabrics have the silhouettes of the 6 beings that she put in this trans-dimensional Bankai. Just, and that's, I like it and I don't like it at the same time. Here's why I don't like it. That means we can't see these 4 dudes, these 4 really cool characters do their Bankais. Like, I wonder if Kirin Jin, look at his name, I wonder if his will be like a giant multi-colored hot spring Kirin or dragon thing or demon, because he's the hot spring demon, with Kirio, with the Grain King, with her thing, with the plants and everything. Will she make a giant tree? Would you turn into a tree? Would she suck you dry with draining your reishi? Nimi Maya, I feel like his would just be instantly beheading you. He just seems like that type of he's grown on me. I like him as a character, I won't lie. Just what would I want to know what the other Bankais are. Please, Kubo, you've done well now with making you expanded more with the 1,000 years ago former court guards. Do show us their Bankais. I need to know. Tell me, baby girl, because I need to know. Now, while that's done, let's explore the rest of this Ichibe versus Yhwach fight. Now, I put it out of order, but let me do this in order. So my homeboy, Ichibe, he releases his Shikai, which painted black Ichimonji. That's such a cool ass name, man. That is cool. Rolling Stones, cool. And so now, your watch is kind of looking like it looks like a paintbrush, but it looks like a blade. We see the blade. We also see the paintbrush, and as they're clashing, it's put paint all over him. Those of you who play fighting games, Street Fighter 4, that when you do the focus attack and it has the ink blots, that aesthetic is all over this. And your watch is telling him, all you're doing is putting paint on me. I'm gonna beat you with, and he can't. He says the name, but only part of the name comes out. That's because anything that Ichimonji paints now loses its name, and when you lose your name, you lose your power. That is the anime rules. This is why characters say names of their moves, because when the move has a name, it adds power to it. I could get into so many conversations when it comes to true names and other things like occult things and things like that, but Anime terms, when you use a move and you say the name of the move, it's stronger. Actually, they explained that with the Getsuga Tensho. Yeah. It's the same thing as if knowing your Zanpakuto is stronger. So since doesn't know the name of the blade, eh. And on top of that, his little cross, he ink blocked that. You have no abilities now, right? And when Homeboy tried to choke him, what's my guy called? Yhwach tried to do the blute veins into him, and somehow dude just muscled it out, saying you invaded the royal palace, now you're trying to invade the body of a soul reaper. You know, he who has been deemed uh to protect the Soul King by the Soul King, blah 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 blah. Soul King, Soul King, Soul King. And when Yhwach says, well, you know what? I'm gonna use my power that doesn't have a name, and I'm gonna take your black. Literally, each emoji has black. You know, all the Soul Reapers have black garb. He has black little long beard. His beard, hair, everything he's wearing that was black is white now. And Yhwach throws this blue flame at him. It's supposed to burn him. And dude's like, "Oh, you don't understand." And I love this. This is so Dragon Ball. I love it. He's out of it, and he straight up goes, "Yeah, my Ichimonji is black. I control the black." And the black is this black aura's peeling off of Yhwach, and it's peeling off of dead people down in the Serete. It's peeling off of everyone. He says, whether you're a Quincy or Soul Reaper or you're alive or you're dead, I control all of that. And so then he does one last cool ass stroke and just comes straight down the. First of all, him saying all this, the art for it is fan flipping tastic, amazing, astounding how this art looks, especially close-ups of his face. Anytime he gets serious, his eyes go pupilless. Amazing. Whoever did work on this, fantastic. If you're watching this, thumbs up, super kudos to you. So he says this: Shin Uchi Shirafude Ichimonji. And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is that? It's because the black on the brush becomes white. And I'm like, okay, so you're gonna erase him then? Because when he painted him black, he basically took away his name, which he actually did that last episode, saying he cut him in half. He called him Yhwach, the YHW. Here, he's using what in modern terms is called a Bankai, but his blade is the first evolved Zanpakuto. He had a Bankai before Bankai was given a name. And with his white brush now, he can give names to things. So he does that cool, they do that cool 3D brushstroke thing that we're used to seeing in Demon Slayer. We see that. And he calls Yhwach Black Ant. So he has this white ink on top of his blotched out black Yhwach. And that's his new name. Your power is like an ant that crawls on the ground, frail and fleeting. And Yhwach tries to say he's never imagined. He's like, yeah, you never imagined the power difference between us. Which is funny. He called him a useless human. And I'm thinking to myself, well, Yhwach said the Soul King is his dad, so I don't think he's naturally human. But he does something cool. He says, like an ant, I'm going to stomp you. Does a sumo stomp. Nowhere near him. Phantom Limb. Remember the Phantom Limb? I told you Phantom Limb comes down. Pushes Yhwach through the ground. Through the little platform that they're back on. And he looks down. Reminds me of the Neo Tri-Beam from TN. And just basically tells him goodbye. Phantom hand squashes dude like an ant. The look of it looks nice. It actually looks like he's doing it himself, but you know, we pan out and see this happening. Just wow. That's how this episode ends. Very stark contrast to last season, where the part 1 of first season, very, my goodness, very somber. Just like everything's torn up. Ichigo lost his blade. Yamato's dead. Some people you think are gone and dead. And then we kind of come back and Ichigo makes the blade again. We're like, okay, yay, we're gonna do this. Very stark contrast because now Looks like Yhwach is defeated. Or is he? Ichigo and others still have to get up there, so who knows what's gonna happen. Remember, the name of this game is this is supposed to be the final chapter. Supposed to be. And everything keeps getting one up. It's like this person gets killed brutally, this person dies unexpectedly, this cool battle happens, this thing happens. We're putting out all the stops, and anything fantastical that can happen will happen, has happened, and will continue to happen. Unbelievable. Unbelievable indeed. We don't get a haiku for this. Like I said, we gotta wait until 2024, which hopefully we see these guys. But this is fall. Hopefully we see them, next summer or next spring. But yeah, but we do get something we haven't had in a long, long time, and that is the Shimigami Illustrated. Cone is back, the proclaimed King of New York, which I'm sure lots of rappers would love to have a conversation with Cone about that. But he's back. He's saying, he even admits this at the end of it. He says, with how serious everything is, you kind of need something like this, right? We need something funny. So here we go. Now, here's the thing. Unlike the past illustrators from, remember, very early in Bleach time, those very, very funny things. Actually, they had those at the end of the mangas. They put the illustrators all into one book. I showed you guys that book, too, when I first started doing this. But, yes, we get that, but they're not fully drawn. Like, we have the heads in these bubbles, and we have like the background where they are, and the heads kind of move when they change emotion, like stop animation, but they're speaking. The first part one is Mayuri and Ichigo when Ichigo's blade broke, and Kon appears, and he's all muscly and accidentally knocks Ichigo out, and the R&D team is trying to catch him. He gets deflated. It's funny. It's before they go meet the Squad Zero. And part two is where Rukia and Rukia gets the call about Byakuya being okay. And then Renji, her and Renji are realizing he's going to have to go see Senjimaru to get new clothes. And they're both shuddering, remembering her time. She made Rukia strip naked. She also made Renji strip naked with the threat of, all right, remove your loincloth. Okay, you don't do that. I'll remove your jewels and then put them back when I'm done. And it was so funny that he has the flashback, and we do see the picture of her kind of move just like back and forth with this picture. It's hilarious. And she said, I'm glad you stopped remembering before we had to see you take your clothes off. Funny. The ending art for this was Cone, like regular Cone, Mr. King of New York himself. There's a reason why I chose to do this one first, because this 1,000-Year Blood War, so good. Studio Period, you've done a wonderful job. I don't care what anybody says. This is fantastic. This was great. So these two episodes together, I'm calling the finale. I got to give it a 5 out of 5 because the battle I waited for, the Ichibei versus Yhwach, this is really good. I'm not gonna spoil nothing for y'all. There is more stuff to come, but this was really good. This was very well done. Very surprised with the whole Squad Zero linked Bankai. We're too strong, so we're gonna have to make it so that only one of us gets the job done. Kind of seems like a cop out a little bit, like Kubo didn't want to draw 4 new Bankais, even though we know you have it written down somewhere. I get it. Still, it was fun. It was great. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 together. If I were to grade them separately, I'd give the first one a 4 and this one a 5. But together, collectively, all together, they're 5. This is the epitome of, the whole, oh no, we one-upped you. Yeah, you had one guy kill all of us. Oh no. Our boss does the Deus Ex mode. All right, sacrifice a little bit here. Everybody here goes up. Kind of like an equivalent exchange. One of the nastiest forms of it. 5 out of 5. Let me know what you thought. I can't wait for season 2 because there's some stuff I know is going to happen and I need to see it. I need to seize it. Any changes that have been made from the manga, I don't remember at the moment. If you remember, shout them out in the comment section down below. But this has been fun. It's been great. Thank you for the food we ate. Whatever. This is fun. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please don't forget, hit that like button and subscribe so you can be notified of more videos like this one. I promise the One Piece stuff is going up later before One Piece weekend. It will be up on the weekend before the weekend is out. Monday at the latest. With all that, thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk. I'm sorry. If you prefer things smushed together, let me know again in the comment section below. I'm open to criticism, things like that. If you would have preferred a separate part, the only difference would have been 2 18-minute. 118, probably the other one 25, because episode 5 is really deep with details. That'll be the difference, but let me know your preference in the comment section below. Again, thank you. I appreciate all of you. Please be good, be blessed, wash those hands. All right, make sure you get some water. All right, drink your water. Be good to yourselves, be good to others. Like where it goes, don't be a jerk. Make sure you're taking care and you're being safe. Remember, there are people out there that care about you, so reach out to someone. There are people in your life that would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. I can guarantee it. All right. If you want somebody to talk to, hey, my social media is right there. Follow me, send me a message, hit me up. As long as you're not a jerk, I'll talk to you. I promise I will. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. I promise that this won't shake the earth, or maybe it will. Bon Kai.